It does not have to be a new year, a new you. It just has to be a healthier you in the new year, you guys. Make sure you check down below in the description box where you can find the links to TLC products, including the ISOT, the Nutraverse, the Life Drops, the Resolution Drops. There's just so many things there to help you in burning fat and staying healthy. There's even the new immune tea, which I'm going to order. So I can't wait to try that. And I hope they get the sea moss back. But I do love the sea moss from Mint and Ocean. I'm sorry, it's supposed to be a commercial. Yes, okay? Get those TLC products from me. And do not forget that my biggest life change has been through Kiara LASHAE, Team LASHAE, ifyoucanmove.com. You guys get cute little outfits from Peja and Amari. You also check out Just Move supplements because she is helping us with the energy. Okay, this is the energy supplement. Love it. Okay, just got my protein. Gonna get me some after I work out. So yeah, y'all, down below in the description box, support. So you guys are always asking me where I get my glasses from. So I thought I would finally give y'all a real little ad, okay? Firmoo, I can't see, bitch. Okay, I'm just playing. I'm just joking. These are my new Firmoo glasses here. Super cute, right? They are prescription because I'm like totally blind. And I got these matte ones that I think are really dope. And I felt like they would go good with the fact that I no longer have hair. You know what I'm saying? But either way, you guys can use my link and give me credit. And get you some glasses from Firmoo. Come on in. Sorry, y'all. Y'all know I'm weird. Whatever.
Hey everybody, what's up? It's your girl Bondy Blue. Let's go ahead. Hey everybody, what's up? It's your girl Bondy Blue. Okay, follow me on Instagram and let's get into the video, right?
I'm back. What's up, people? I'm back. Okay, we are back for Put a Ring on It and Ready to Love. Okay, that's what we're about to get into, people. So do me a favor as you're coming into the room. Please don't forget to like my video. Okay, support my content. It is greatly appreciated. Okay, let's also not forget tomorrow. Okay, tomorrow, is it tomorrow? No, it's not tomorrow. It's Tuesday. Child, let me switch over. Okay, let me switch over to the ladies first. Is it the right one? No, this is wrong. Okay, y'all, I pulled them into my phone, but I didn't pull them into my computer, but I pulled them into my phone. But I'm gonna just go ahead and let y'all know that we are interviewing Anila on Tuesday on I believe that is Jamie's channel. Okay. Yes. Okay. Anila will be on Jamie's channel on Tuesday. And then on the following Thursday, we will be on Jay Lee's Corner for Ashley from the first season of Put a Ring on It. Okay. So y'all make sure to come see us for the Ooh Ladies first panel. And I will definitely be giving y'all reminders and, sending y'all shit, pictures and links and all of that type of stuff so that y'all can be in attendance. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into Put a Ring on It. Let's start here. All right, y'all, so we left off with Smoke trying to decide whether he was going to go on another date with Kai, and I think we all knew that he was going to go on another date with Kai. Alexia is not happy about it. She was actually being quite defensive, like, well, you can do what you want to do, but when I decide to crack you over the head with a skillet, don't say I didn't warn you. That's the energy it was given. And Dr. Nicole had to check her and let her know, hey, you signed up for this process. You cannot be upset with him for doing exactly what you guys signed up to do, which is go on dates with other people. And like, you want him to go and live out this process. Here's the thing. Everybody thinks that they want their person to be faithful to them or loyal or with them because they want you to be. You know what I'm saying? Like, when the truth of the matter is, if a person really doesn't want to be with you, you shouldn't want them to be with you anyway. If they can be taken from you, they shouldn't be with you anyway. So let the man go ahead and go on the dates and figure out what he is feeling so that you don't have to deal with this in a different capacity later on. Okay. That's how I'm feeling about it. Okay. But Dr. Nicole told them at the end of the day, remember, y'all are some struggling ass couples trying to figure out what y'all trying to do. Okay. Remember that. When you're sitting up here having an attitude about what y'all deciding y'all gonna do, y'all is struggling. Okay. That's what's going on. So we see Jessica, y'all. Jessica putting her freakum dress on. Okay, look, a yellow freakum dress at that, right up under the ass. Okay, listen, had poor little Eric's feelings all kerfuffled. Okay, he was definitely nervous. But she said she bought that dress when he went on his date last week. When you went on your date last week and you had all that energy from his girl, I went online and bought this little dress. Okay, for my date. Know that this is what it is. All right. Now all of a sudden, Eric also has trust issues with Jessica. I'm like, sis, when y'all first explained the issues that y'all had together, I never heard him say he was worried about trusting her. It was all about her trusting him and her living in fear. Now all of a sudden, y'all don't trust each other. I do feel like Eric can say what he wants to, but there's a level of pettiness and passive aggressiveness that is going on with him. Okay. Either way, she goes on her date with this guy named Ranson. Okay, Eric went to the door, sees that this man has a full hairline and pectoral muscles, and decides that, he has arrived at the wrong address. No, sir. No, sir. No, sir. You are not bringing that open chest up into this apartment to steal my girl. Okay. Listen, that man look better than you. And that's no disrespect. But I really do feel like when the person they go on a date with is more attractive than, them or their spouse, that's something to worry about sometimes. Because a lot of the times the men make a decision not to press forward just because the person isn't as attractive as their woman. That man walked up in the door with that almondy, chocolatey skin and that smile, okay? All right. And those dimples and that fresh hairline. And it was just like, sir, you're intimidated. You're intimidated. We can tell. Okay. Randon came in like, I'm the cleanup nigga to steal your girl's love. Uh-huh. Like that's how he came through. He says he has never had a girlfriend before. I said that is a red flag. Okay. And then you calling yourself Mr. Steal Your Girl, which I'm not even gonna rag on you too hard for that because I love to call myself Mrs. Steal Your Girl. So I get that. That's a joke. But ultimately, sir, you giving off fuckboy vibes. And this is cute and sexy and everything. And this is nice conversation. And you eye candy and all of that. But Jessica is not about to continue on in a relationship with a grown-ass man that has never had a girlfriend before. Talking about you want marriage and you all in. I don't want to hear that. Okay, she is lighter complected with a loose curl pattern, nigga. That's all you see and that's all you excited about. Okay, you get up and through them skins. Thank you, Kendra Nicole, for the super sticker. You get up and through them skins, and then all of a sudden you bored with the bitch, and you back on the streets on the prowl talking about I ain't never had a girlfriend before. When a man tells you he ain't never had a girlfriend before, do you know what you make him do? You make him wait until marriage for sex. Okay, that's what you do. Oh, you ain't never had a girlfriend? Well, we're not having sex until marriage. If you don't plan on marrying me, please walk on by. Please walk on by. Make believe that you don't see the tears. Okay, that's how I feel. Move on away from me with this. All right, y'all, let's go ahead and move on from there. Okay, let's go ahead and move on from there. So Alexia gets ready to go on her date with this personal trainer who does not know who Smoke is. And Smoke, Darion looked like he felt away about this man not knowing nothing about, Field Mob. Ooh, don't finish your statement. Listen, I used to know that song by heart. Every night while my man, I what is on me. I wanna know I need love and need love. I can't remember nothing else, but I know there are some other songs. That wasn't all my life been poor, but it really don't matter. No, that was Nappy Roots. Epic boy, it's gonna be okay. Look, I'm just thinking about buku other miscellaneous late 90s, early 2000s rap male groups. Okay, child, I'm sorry. Listen, all over the place. Anyway, when Alexia and this man go on his date, Darian is standing on the fucking steps like Tyrese on Baby Boy with his hands in his pockets talking about bring me a cheeseburger back, mama. Okay, I got a little change for you, boy. If you don't take your ass on inside somewhere, that's what Smoke looked like standing on the stoop as Alexia went out on this date with Chris. All right. And she enjoyed her date. She says that he is actually the opposite of Darian because she actually was able to finish a statement. She actually was able to have a nice conversation with him. But I also feel like she's used to a very charismatic man. And while it was nice to be able to get her conversation out, I still feel like she is still googly eyed over Smoke. I do. I don't think Smoke is googly eyed over her, which is unfortunate. But it was just the way they responded to their dates that makes me feel like at this moment, they're not in the same space or the same place in this relationship. Y'all also, is it just me? Let me know in the comments. Is it just me that felt like there is something that feels sad or depressed about Alexia? Tell me if it's just me, y'all. Because that's what I feel of her. And when she was talking to Chris, there was even a point in the conversation when he asked her about her sense of self. Like, does she know who she is? Because there's something that seems like it's searching. I don't know what she does for a living now, but something makes me feel like she has not been right since she stopped playing ball or something. Like she doesn't, have anything in her life propelling her forward in a way that makes her feel good about herself. And I think that's why she wants to get married to Smoke, because then that's like something I can focus on instead of focus on the fact that I'm just really not happy and I don't know exactly why. Or I haven't really talked about on the show yet. You know what I'm saying? But I definitely feel like there's something about her. There's a sadness about her, and I think that's a part of why their relationship is where it is. You know what I'm saying? No, I get it. I want her to get the strength to leave. She seems too dependent on her man. Yes, that was something I also felt. Yeah, very guarded and combative. You think she's combative? I mean, not in a way that I don't want to call it combative, but definitely defensive for sure. Yeah, y'all see that in her eyes too. It's written all over her face. She don't have to say a word. I think she lost herself in that relationship as well, and that's very easy to do. You get sadness and disappointment from her. You can see it on her. Yes, there's a void. Yes. Okay, y'all are seeing this. I see fear. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't see combative. I don't see combative. I don't want to call it that. Definitely like a passive aggressiveness, but there's fear and sadness all draped up and through Alexia. And I feel like she got to get that together before she can pinpoint what type of relationship she wants to be in. It almost makes me feel like, really what happened after basketball? Like what happened? What are you doing with your life now? Do you feel, as good as you did when you were traveling and playing ball and living out your dream? Like what happened? There's something that a breakdown in between that we're missing. And I just would like to hear more from her about how she's feeling instead of the focus always being on the relationships, because a lot of the issues that they're having in the relationships are, something that's going on inside of themselves individually. You know what I'm saying? So let's go ahead and move on from there. Okay. Child, Lorenza and Sean. Okay, so Dr. Nicole has a private meeting with LaRonda and Sean, and they talk about the money issues that they're having. LaRonda just wants them to build something together, and he has a lot of guilt with not making as much money as she does. He's an actor. He's, working, and it's kind of up and down, kind of just like YouTube can be up and down, but it's a passion. It's something you really want to do. It's something you don't want to give up on. and he has this woman who's there supporting him, but he also grew up with his father only seeing or bringing forth value as far as providing. So a lot of men feel like all they have to do is provide and protect. That is not true. Child, they got something on my TV called Gunpowder Milkshake that look like it's something I need to see, coming out July 17th or something like that. Child, that look like something I need to see. Anyway, sorry, y'all. But yes. Him talking about his father and how his father only provided, so him not being able to provide for LaRonda in that way makes him feel less than, and he's having to deal with that. And LaRonda gives him the space to be different than his father, but it's still very hard for him to not be able to live up to that standard. I also wonder if his father was, in any ways abusive or angry, because I think that adds a level of anxiety. You know what I'm saying? That adds a level of anxiety. And I want to say that I really like LaRonda and Sean. I think their relationship is the one that I pay attention to. I see the love there. I'm gonna say that. Like, they look like they have a good time together. They look like they have fun together. They're both very beautiful people. Like, everybody's beautiful. Don't get me wrong. But she's always touching him. She's always like, they'll be, in therapy with the group. She's touching him. They in therapy by themselves. She's touching him. There is definitely a love that is palpable between them. When he was sick over her going over this date, because in his mind, the idea that he can lose this woman that has been so fruitful and just definitely changed his life for the better. And this is like what women often bring to the table for men. And when men appreciate it and actually, when you help them work through their issues and all of that, and they, become like these great, representations of all the work you put in, it's worth it. But there are times when it's not. But this is the trope that Tyler Perry is always trying to get everybody to live into. But I feel like it takes a special type of man, somebody that's still going to do what they have to do. And honestly, I'm not mad at him for having a sense of, I need to be able to take care of her. Because if he didn't, then he would be a user. So he's just going to have to learn how to balance that feeling with his, his anxiety. Because as a man, yes, you do want to bring something to the table. You do not want to be a burden on a woman who can take care of herself better if she didn't have you as a burden. Okay. So I definitely feel like his energy about her is right. And it doesn't make me feel like she is in any way sacrificing herself so that he can do what he needs. It doesn't feel that way. It feels like two people that just so happen to have different situations going on. She is business minded. She's on her shit. He's more artistic and trying to find his way in that way. And she is supportive of that. And I'm sure he's emotionally supportive because he seems that way. They are very, you know what I'm saying? He was sick, y'all. When he started doing the push-ups, as soon as her and dude walked out, child, let me get to my notes though. Okay. So LaRonda is going on her date with John, who is a singer-songwriter and feels like he is the best possible option for any woman. As soon as he said that, I knew I was not going to like him, but his energy is down here, y'all. As I say, whenever men walk around with their bodies curved in like this at the waist, okay, which means all their center of gravity is in their dick area. This is how they walk around like this, okay? Right here. Okay. All of his center of gravity was right here, which means you may have a beautiful time with him. He might be 100% real and honest, and y'all have like a magical time together, but don't trust him because he thinks he's the best possible option for any woman, and all of his energy is right in the dick area. Don't trust it. Okay. Just saying, it was fun, but I don't trust it. So John came to the door, peace and blessings. She said, not peace and blessings. I said, yes, ma'am. Peace and blessings. I really like LaRonda. So he's nice, a little deep, he was coming off extra, my soul brother, he's coming off mad neo soul and shit. You know what I'm saying? Child, Sean started doing push-ups and pull-ups as soon as they walked out the door. They go and drink some Black Girl Magic wine. Y'all, LaRonda is beautiful. Okay. All these beautiful teeth and juicy liptedness and titties and everything. I was just like, yeah, nigga, I would have been at home worried as well. Okay. Because LaRonda is pretty and fun and free spirited, but at the same time on her shit, like there's a level of I'm great, I know it, but I'm not an asshole about it. I'm here to have a good time. What's going on? Your energy seems amazing. You know what I'm saying? Like LaRonda is everything to me, y'all. Like as far as I'm concerned, like I don't know, it's just something about her, and especially during this episode that I really appreciated her. Okay. So they have fun on their date. They throwing grapes in each other's mouth. And I do love the kiddiness of it. I do love when people are able to just have fun like children, because I find that those relationships often last longer. And I like when people don't take themselves too seriously. So I was definitely enjoying their date. And then y'all, they both find out they're a little musically inclined, but he got a song, y'all. He wrote a song and he was singing the song to her, y'all. And he wrote a song for this situation. He definitely was giving some John Legend-ish type shit going on, okay? But he was gonna put a ring on it in some type of way, thong, 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 fly with me, get high with me. Anyway, I'm sorry. We check back in on Sean. He's still doing push-ups and pull-ups, and eventually he has to talk to his line brother and pull himself together. He definitely got emotional about it. My boy was sick in the stomach. Shall I remember what that feel like? Honestly, I was hurt for him, but I also felt like it's a natural feeling. Like it's a natural feeling to have. But you have got to understand that you went out and enjoyed your date. You enjoyed your time out. You know what I'm saying? So you need to give her the space to do that as well. But he's coming off like he gonna be like Hollywood from last season, the type of person that they're going to act a certain way in this process so that they can try to control the way their partner handles this process. So I just want them to be careful of that. Right? But she had a really good time on her date, and Sean had a terrible time while she was on her date. Poor baby, okay, with his little cute self. And then y'all, we see what is it? Oh, all couples meet up, right? And Alexia tells Dr. Nicole that she had a good time on her date, and it was nice to be with someone who listened to her. And it actually gave she and Smoke the opportunity to communicate better. So after that date, they ended up spending like the whole night talking. And it's like for once, they were seeking understanding of one another instead of, oh, girl, whatever, and oh, nigga, whatever. It was like a time where he was listening to her, she was listening to him, and they were communicating. But I honestly feel like it was only because Smoke felt like if he did not appeal to his woman in some way, he would lose her. That's what it felt like to me. That's why y'all had good conversation, because he finally felt like he needed to do something in order to keep your attention. Whereas I feel like a great part of their relationship, it's been the other way around, but they are progressing. And I do think it's a good thing. That's why I like this show, because sometimes you got to shake shit up in order for people to understand what it is they have. Because when you are in a relationship, there's some monotony that happens where you start taking for granted your situation. You need to see what it's like out there. And if there is something better, then go and have that something better. But if not, get your shit together and make appropriate decisions. Okay. So we get to Jessica and Eric. And Jessica says that she and the guy she went out on a date with, they were vibing. And then they had a really good time. But we get into how neither Eric or Jessica trust each other. And Jessica says, I know he doesn't trust me and I don't trust him, but it is what it is. Dr. Nicole says that is not sustainable. They often act as if, and this is what I hate. I hate when people are in therapy or in emotional situations and they can't be honest about their feelings. Okay. You don't really feel like you don't care. You don't really feel like it is what it is. So don't say shit like that. Don't be disingenuous about your emotions when you're trying to get past an emotional blockage in your relationship. Be honest. If you don't want things to be a certain way, say that. If something bothers you, if something hurts, if something doesn't feel right, say that. But also understand that a lot of what you feel in relationships is a reflection of what's going on in your own mind sometimes, and not always what's going on in the relationship. That's why it's important to listen when you do have conversations. And sometimes people don't listen. They wait for the other person to stop talking so that they can say what they wanted to say. Okay. So when they get to LaRonda and Sean, she says it was so nice. He sang a song for her that he wrote, and then Sean expresses how hard it was, once the door was closed, and how he got sick, and how he basically flooded himself with all of the fear and all of the bad feelings that he was having, losing her, her never being in a picture again, this guy taking her from him. So he's missing the picture that's actually going on, which is that this is just one date and you went out on a date and everything was fine. So why do you assume that just because she goes out on this one date that you're not going to be able to trust your woman to be who you know she is and then come back home to you? And if something changes, then y'all can communicate that instead of you feeling like she about to go and never come back or some shit like that. Okay? So he really doesn't want to turn into his dad. And that's like the big part of it. So he gets emotional about that. And he was crying. And she tells him to breathe through it. I appreciated Dr. Nicole telling him not to try to shut his feelings off or ignore them, but to breathe through it. Y'all, that's how I handle shit a lot of the time. And not be all aggravated and upset. It's just bitch, a lot of deep breaths, okay? Especially when I can't breathe through my nose. It's been raining, the sinuses, y'all. It's too much. But in through the nose and out through the mouth. Okay, you have got to breathe through it. Otherwise, you will not have control of your emotions because they will get the better of you. They will. But he identifies things worse than they are. Y'all, I really understood that feeling. I am one of those people. That's why I have like the ability now to kind of breathe through these things. But I am one of those people that when something bad happens, all of the feelings of anxiety come on me. And that's all I can feel. And I have to continue to break apart the negative energy that I'm feeling in my mind in order for me to get past it. I have to tell myself that you have to let it go now. You've thought about it. You've analyzed it. There's nothing else you can do about it. Step away from the table. That's how I think about it in my mind. And as I've gotten older, it's been easier for me to let things go that I cannot control once I've been annoyed and upset by it. Once I've been annoyed, upset, bothered, I've thought about it. I've assessed the situation. I've done all I can do about the situation. Now I have to let it go because I can't live in a space of allowing all the fear to attack me, because then I wouldn't be able to live and accomplish things and do what I have to do throughout my day. And the world does not stop because I'm having a moment of anxiety. See what I'm saying? So you got to be able to get control of your feelings, because the more you let your anxiety get in control of you, the less you're accomplishing, the more anxiety that you have. At least for me. If I let my feelings or my anxiety stop me from accomplishing things I know I have to do, it will bother me to no end. So for me, it's always about, okay, have the moment, deal with it, and then let that shit go. Because I will overthink. Yes, I will overthink. I overthink. You had to talk me through some shit in a Bondi Blue show. Tina, I'm glad I did that. But I'm telling you, I do the same thing. That's why I know, that's why I understand the feeling. When he was going through all of that, I totally understood. I can remember being sick like that over people too. Child, bad. But let's move on from there. The truth of the matter is he doesn't want to be like his father. And he's already not like his father because he already treats his woman. He already treats LaRonda way better. I really do feel like that daddy probably was in some ways abusive, and he's trying so hard not to be that. You already not that, but it's caused you to have anxiety about things, and I damn sure understand that. So he's just gonna have to get in control of allowing his mind to take him on a ride, because that's what happens. So lastly, Alexia chooses to pass on another date with Chris. Jessica passes on Randon. She says him never having a girlfriend was a red flag. And then LaRonda, she wants to go on another date with John, but says that because she has to think about Sean's feelings, she doesn't want to go on another date. And Dr. Nicole reminds her that she's going to have to go on another date anyway, whether it's with John or not. So don't make a decision trying to protect Sean. Sean needs to learn how to deal with this, period. This is the situation. Next week, they all going on a date at the same time in the same place. I said, this is going to be interesting. And I don't recall them doing that on the first season. So it's damn sure gonna be entertaining. Y'all, please like the video before we move on into the next show, which is Ready to Love, the reunion show. I'm gonna put these looks up here right now, and I'm gonna get a drink, and I'm gonna wait for y'all to like the video. But these are the looks we're gonna talk about because these are the only ones that I was able to actually get stand up pictures of. Okay. I mean, these are the last four ladies anyway, right? So that's all the ones that really matter, child. Y'all go ahead and like that video though. Do that for me. Do that. All right. Hallelujah. I don't know why I felt like let's get into the ministry. Okay. Y'all like on the way in, you know how we do. Okay. Andrea was the only one. I mean, the only look I really liked. Um, hmm. Andrea was cute. We'll look at her in a minute. Liz. I could not find Liz standing up. But we'll get to those because I have pictures of them, but I just don't have them like standing up so I can see their full looks. Because I follow Liz on Instagram and I went to her Instagram and I didn't see a full shot of her in her dress. But let's talk about these, and then as we get into the episode, we will talk more. Yes, Andrea was one of the women who left first. We'll get into that, okay? But let's start here. These are the last four women of the show, okay? I'm gonna say I actually did like Kyra's dress. I don't know if it's something that I would wear, but I did love the color. I love the fabric. I think it looks beautiful on her skin tone. I thought her makeup was nice. I thought her boobs looked impeccable. I thought her hair was a travesty. I think she's wearing the same wig that she wore the entire season, and I'm unhappy about that. The wig is stiff, and then she pushed it behind her ear. And we can tell you have edges. We can tell you have hair under the wig, and it's probably a protective style. But what I need for you to do next time is please get you a new wig for the reunion. Please don't roll up in here like this again, ma'am. Okay? Like the wig just really, it made the look fall flat. It wasn't what it needed to give at all. Okay? Let's move on to Vernicia. Vernicia, I know what you were trying to do, and you look good when you were sitting down, but is this the best that you could do? A glittery green freakum girl dress? Was this the best you could do? I like her hair. I like her makeup. When she was sitting down, I thought her titties looked amazing. But there is something I just would have wanted her to. I just think she could have done better. I'm sorry, but I really do think Vernicia could have done better than this. I'm sorry. You could have done better. This just wasn't the wave or the move for me. I think it was a good color on her, but I do think she often picks tight ass, short ass dresses to show off her body. And I feel like you have body. You don't need to do that. You don't need to do that. Like, it's just, you have a beautiful body. You're a beautiful woman. No, you could have done way better than this. Let's move on to Amber and Alexis. I feel like Alexis and Amber probably had the best hair. I think when it came to the wiggage, I think Alexis wiggage was nicely applied. I was here for the wiggage. I was also here for how beautiful Amber looked standing up. But when Amber was sitting down and her arm took the appearance of a snake, it was a no for me. It was a no for me. No. Excuse me, shit. Y'all hit that L, hit you in the back of the throat. Sorry. Yeah. Yeah. Alexis' dress is just a whole lot of shit, and I really did feel like they could have done better. They could have done way better. I really am not liking any of these looks, to tell you the truth. I think all of the women look beautiful in their own right because they're all beautiful women. But if we're going to talk about the looks, then I'm going to be honest and tell you that the church lady realness of the shoulder, mm-mm, mm-mm. Alexis, mm-mm. I like that color on you, girl. I don't know how I feel about those shoes. Amber, again, I like that brown color on you. I think your makeup is beautiful. I think your body looks good in that dress as you're standing. Once you're sitting, it's a no. Let's go ahead and move on. That's all I have. We're not going to argue about it. Bop. Okay. So let's go ahead and get into what actually took place. Who drop kicked who on the Ready to Love reunion? Shout out to Roxanne. Okay. So first, they go through bringing Cake G back to the show. They also show how he felt about Chrysanthemum, who I'm going to refer to as Chris throughout this episode. Okay. Chris and Stacy. All right. Ryan felt like KG just wasn't smooth enough for Chris to give her energy to him. And at this point, my notes, y'all. At this point in the episode, Stacy is making hand movements to agree with what Ron said about KG, and that annoyed me. I was bothered by that. I think that was a part of the problem that we were talking about with her. Why are you up here doing all of this right now? Like, yeah. Okay, he just wasn't man enough for my friend. Yeah, ma'am, please stop. Ma'am, please stop. Please stop, ma'am. That irked my nerves when she did that. I wanted her to stop. KG and Amber are dating. They say they talk every day. It has not turned into a full-fledged commitment. This was a lot of black gaudiness going on here. Okay, this is a lot of black church lady furniture looking shit that KG and Amber had on. Yes, they are beautifully chocolatey goodness. Absolutely. Amber's dress while sitting, absolute no. KG, your extraness looked better than what she had going on. But I also feel like you would have looked better if you would have had on a simple color, like just one plain color that was just like really fitted well to your body. It didn't even have to be black. You could have had on a white suit. You could have had on brown. Honestly, it could have been a whole bunch of other things, but they come off as gaudy. They come off as black church lady furniture. Yes, absolutely. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Black lady furniture got fleur-de-lis all over the fucking place. Fake flowers all over the place. Just real, swirls where they don't need to have no fucking swirls. Just all over the place. I'm sorry. To the old ladies whose houses look like that, this is no disrespect to you. As long as your house is cold and your food is good, that's all that matters, ma'am. Okay, I want you to know that. That's all that matters. If your house is clean and cold, that is all that matters. You can have as much gaudy church brown shit with fleur-de-lis and swirls and all kind of shit. You can have as much as that as you possibly would like. Okay, but this is definitely giving off gaudy church realness. No, thank you. No, thank you. It is giving a Key Sweat vibe, but let me tell y'all the difference. Key Sweat would have had them swirls be like a light color so that it wouldn't come off as so much, but you would still be able to see the swirls, but they would just be very light so that it would give like, just a little bit more embroidery and a little less, like stitching, because this is giving stitching and not embroidery. And I feel like there's a difference. I could be wrong, but I don't care. Y'all know what I'm saying. Let's go ahead and move on from, grandma's church furniture. They dating, we glad. They talk about all the men saying that Kyra was their number one. That's why I have her here in her tight wig. The wig is so tight. Girl, I'm worried about the rest of your face because the wig is just so tight on this one side. Like I can see it pulling the edges. And I'm like, don't pull the edges, cover the edges so that we don't see that you're pulling them. And there's a picture on Instagram right now of Kyra showing us her full head of natural hair. And sis, okay, me and you us never part, my key, da, da. I understand. But ma'am, we can have full heads of hair without our wigs being stiff and pulling at our edges the way that one was. Oh my God. Like it was bad. I was like, oh my God, someone take the wig off. I'm worried about that side of her head. I want the edges to be there. That picture did not show me if those edges were still there, but okay, I'm sorry. Anyway, so like I said, they talk about how all the men said that Kyra was their number one. And Kyra says that it put a lot of targets on her back and it also harmed her relationship with Jason. Honestly, I low-key agree with that because Jason in the confessional saying that, well, what is she doing to have all of these men running behind her? I didn't like that shit. And I agree with Kyra. Talk to these men about why they all wanted to throw my name out there, okay? Because two things can be true at the same time. You were playing to win, not really being genuine about your feelings throughout this entire process, okay? That can be true, Kyra, as well as these men was on some bullshit, and because you was the first one that came to their mind, or because the man before them said your name, they wanted to just keep saying your name and all of that type of shit. Okay, like I did agree with her on that, but they get into Alexis and whether Alexis was hating on her or whether there was some validity to Alexis's feelings towards Kyra about her, you know, playing chess, checkers, Monopoly, and every other fucking board game that shows that she wasn't being 100% honest. I'm gonna say this. I agree that Kyra was absolutely doing the things that Alexis was saying, but I also feel like Alexis was jealous of the way Kyra was able to move throughout this process. And I feel like a lot of what I saw from Alexis throughout most of the process was her looking to be chosen. And there was somewhat of a desperation in that. As much as she tries to act like she's not coming off that way she felt about Kyra, the way she handled the AJ situation, the way she even handled the Ron situation. You were almost willing to fuck with him just because he was showing you energy, when the truth of the matter is he was showing Chrysanthemum that same energy and then simultaneously really using you in a way. I feel like Ron used Alexis, okay? Because I think he really wanted Chris, but he wasn't sure how Chris was going to come off, because I think as much as he talked that shit about her answering his phone calls, I think there were very much times when Chris made him feel like he did not matter, which is why he sent her ass home. I really do believe that. You had that lady meeting your mom and everything. You definitely felt a way about her, but she probably made you feel like you were just, you know, an option for her, because that's the vibe that Chris gives off, that everything is in her time frame. Everything is when she wants it to happen. You know what I'm saying? So I really did feel like, you know, Ron was doing some fugazi shit as well and just trying to throw it on Alexis when Alexis was doing the same thing that you was doing, which is the same thing that everybody was doing, the same thing. Let me try to hold on to somebody that is, you know, showing me more attention than the person that I really wish were showing me all this attention. And that's just how it came off. Okay. Y'all, I'm gonna talk about Liz's look right now. I thought Liz looked pretty. I did see her hair. I follow her on Instagram, so I know that she and Jason are still together. I think that blue looked beautiful on her. I did not like the scarf. I wish she wouldn't have had the way that's tied around. I wish it would have just went around her neck and not had this scarf hanging off. I just didn't like that, but I think she looked beautiful. I like the 60s mod hairstyle that she chose. Dr. Jackie, not Dr. Jackie, Dr. Simone, this is what needed to be done. Not what you did. This is what needed to be done. And I also like the color. But yes, let's go ahead and move on to the next set of pictures. Okay. Here we go. This set right here. Okay. So Alexis expresses that people feel that Kyra was in it to win it and not really in it for love. So therefore her motives were questioned. Tommy says that some people weren't there to make friends and nobody would know about the shifts that allegedly occurred unless one of the men had said something, i.e. Ron. Ron took his ass from the men's lounge and told the women what was going on, which is why Alexis knew that all of the men had yelled Kyra's name out when they were all making their choices, because otherwise they wouldn't have known that. Okay. So we find out that Teresa didn't come to the reunion because she had a positive COVID test. Now, she seemed fine. She seemed healthy. She seemed to be feeling well. So I didn't understand why they didn't have her on to at least answer some questions about her experience. That just seemed weird to me. Okay. But she made lifelong friends. She learned lessons. It was a journey. She looks great. She's still single and ready to love. All right. Then we move on to Khalil. Oh, hold up. Before I pass that up. Backstage, Kyra was going off about how everything was Ron's fault. And Vernicia was saying, you know, all of these men full of shit, which let us know that her and Joelle are not together. Like, we could have guessed it, but that's the moment we figured it out. Andrea definitely is very much giving. I also feel like our girl over here, Ida, was giving as far as, you know, hair, makeup, the color of her dress. I couldn't see what her dress looked like in full, but I thought they both looked really great. But Andrea and her ponytail, her makeup, her dress, she looked very pretty as well. Okay. To get those looks off. And Khalil looked good too. But Khalil is problematic to me. And I felt like the same issue Khalil had on the show originally is the same issue that he has right now. Doing fuckboy shit and then blaming women's response for why he hasn't had a good relationship. Okay. So we talked to Christian and Khalil. Khalil was the one that blamed Mean Girls for whatever his personal issues are. He hasn't had good relationships. It's because of Mean Girls. Y'all remember that, right? Amber clocked that, and that's why his ass went home. Also because he was dressed like he, you know, works in a library or some shit, and that's not always attractive to everybody. He realizes now that he should have worn a different suit. I feel like he also should have grown that beard out, because him growing that beard out is really the move. Like, him smiling with that beard, I was like, okay, definitely giving a vibe. Okay, Christian says that he got too comfortable after Khalil was sent home, and that was his mistake. He was standing in a corner, not being more aggressive with the dating process. So that's why he got sent home. But he's been dating and talking to people, i.e. Andrea. So they kind of forced him to ask Andrea out in front of everyone. Now, this is the moment that I feel like Khalil decided he was going to tell everybody about Ida. Ida says they had talked about this, and he said he didn't want to tell anybody that they were fool-ah lying around. Okay, so if that's the case, why are you now throwing it out there now? Because Christian had a positive response to him talking to Andrea. Tell the truth. You old following ass nigga. And I was so happy to be mad at Ida at first until Ida explained that they had already talked about it. You can tell that her feelings was hurt when he told her he didn't want to say anything. And now he's like, well, I wanted to wait to the reunion. You didn't tell her that. And you can tell you didn't tell her that. And I think you often do things like this. You do shady shit where it's obvious you were trying to control the situation or you were trying to manipulate the situation. The woman gets upset and now she's a crazy bitch and she a mean girl when you know good and goddamn well you told that lady that you didn't want people to know y'all was fucking around, and now you're going to show up here today and decide you want to do that and put that out there to make yourself look good. That's what he did to me. That's what he did to me. And then he wanted to talk about how great she was after the fact, and she was rolling her eyes. I said, that's right, Ida. Ida is not on bullshit. Ida is very clear. And I think when people are clear the way she is, that's not always, you know, and she can kind of come off a little weird. So I think people are always looking to invalidate people like Ida's feelings. But I think for sure I caught on what was going on there. And the fact that he just kept smiling all dumbly throughout the process, it made me feel even more so that there was some fuckery on his part going on there. Okay. I'm telling y'all them nice things about myself. If you care, if I'm all of that great, then you should have been shouting from the fucking mountaintops. You should have told me we should wait until the reunion and then we'll tell everybody together. That's what he should have said. That's not what he did. Okay. Okay. That's not what he did. So let's go ahead and move on from there. Next, they get into the mess that is Ron. Let me go ahead and pull that up. Okay. So they get into Ron and they talked about how Ron talked to Alexis when she was giving him his walking papers. And Tommy took this time to let it be known that that was the first time he'd ever seen a woman talk to like that on the show. And I'm like, actually, it's not. That first or second season when old boy lost his shit down to the bar with the comedian lady, I thought that was also out of pocket, and I don't think Chica was actually really checked about that until the reunion show. Like at the time, I don't know if he was checked the way he should have been checked. But either way, Tommy took this time to check Ron about the way he talked to Alexis, basically making it seem like Alexis is stupid because she is choosing not to be with a man who she doesn't think is actually compatible with her because he don't see it for the Lord the way she does. Okay. And Ron tried to explain it away like, oh no, I was saying that she, I thought you were smarter than that because that meant she was choosing AJ. I understood what Ron was saying, but that's not what you meant. You meant she was stupid for not choosing your ass. Okay. You felt the way you're a very insecure man. Like Amber said, you have not handled this entire situation like a man. You have not handled it the way you were supposed to from the very beginning. Okay. And you are very manipulative and you fugazi as fuck. You put on like you the money man. I got all these hustles. I got all these jobs and I'm going to treat a woman good and I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. But you lie. You lie your ass off. The fact that Chris had met your mother and you sat up there and tried to act like that wasn't a big deal when you know good and goddamn well that was a big deal. That's why you ain't tell nobody about that shit. Tommy was like, she met your mama. That's like the second to last day of this show. And you did that with her all the way at the beginning. Obviously, she was in your top. You know what I'm saying? So it was, I don't know what he was on. That's what makes me feel like Chris made him feel like ultimately she wasn't really feeling him like that, which is why he sent her ass home. There is something that happened that he doesn't want to really say that made him feel away. But Tommy told Ron that he needed to apologize to Alexis for the way he talked to her. And he says that, oh, I'll take responsibility for my part in it, but I kept receiving jab after jab from her. Man, boy, stop. Boy, stop. Boy, stop. That lady was not throwing no jabs at you. She was being honest about the way you can't handle rejection. So you act out and try to be mean and rude like a fucking child. Like when you threw Amber or I kiss Amber. What kind of childhood 5, 6, 7, 8-year-old, 9, that's some little boy shit for you to throw it in her face that you made out with Amber. And then even on stage proceeded to lie and talk about how you went on many dates with that lady. I'm so glad she said use a damn lie. Amber said use a damn lie. We have not went on no many dates. Okay, we went on one date, and that's the date when she was trying to get her friend into the VIP, and you got her friend into the VIP, and you were stunting for your friends, and you probably forced that kiss on her. And being the woman that she is in this society, growing up in rape culture, she went ahead and let you do it so that she can get out of that situation without a problem. Because if she had given you the then you probably would have got ignorant with her ass. So that's why she went ahead and let you go ahead and do that. And then she moved on about her way. And you got up here and act like y'all was actually seeing each other when we know that that's not the case. I'm glad she said something, old lying ass. Okay? Just forever trying to come off like a ladies' man instead of being honest. Instead of being real with yourself. Bullshitting with yourself. Okay? Child, I'm glad she went in. I can't say that enough. Oh, Lord. Okay? Then backstage, we see Ron telling Jason that Alexis cheated on him with age. I said, that's how you know the nigga crazy. She can't cheat on you. Y'all are not in a relationship. Y'all are dating on a dating show. The end of the show is when y'all have chosen to either exclusively see each other or continue to date each other. But either way, that decision is made on the last episode. We were not on the last episode. That lady did not cheat on you. You sound crazy as fuck. And if that's the case, you have been cheating the whole time with your situation with Chris that you wasn't being honest about. Y'all, what was going on with Chris's wig? Why? I don't understand what it is about Black women who either heavily date white men or who are, like just they have to have like a proximity to whiteness in some way. I don't know what that is, y'all. And I could look, y'all can say whatever y'all want to say about me, but I feel like her in this wig has something to do with her feeling like my light skin and me being half white is good enough. So I don't actually have to have more than synthetic hair that will catch on fire if, held under the sun for too long type wigs on my head. Cause I'm a white lady. So I can wear fucked up wigs like this. Cause I'm fine anyway. Cause I'm a white lady. It was a free tress wig. I love them. Ma'am, ma'am, ma'am. The wig was a mess. You a regular woman, ma'am. If you go into your job in a free tress wig, ma'am, I am not upset at you. This is a reunion on a nationally syndicated television show. This was not the way or the move. And I would implore you, ma'am, that if you ever gonna do something that's a special occasion, please do not wear the wig that look like this. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't come for me. Don't tell on yourself. Don't tell on yourself. You know she was wrong for this wig. Don't tell me. Okay? Don't tell me. I'm sorry, y'all. Whoo, Lord. I mean, I could tell it looked waxy through my TV, y'all. And Stacy, what type of friend are you? Stacy is a bad friend. Stacy is a bad friend because she didn't tell her. Child, let me get back to my notes, okay? So Jason told Ron he needed to just take responsibility for himself since he can't seem to do that. They talk about Jason getting emotional about the brotherhood and how Joelle showed up for him, blah, blah, blah. And then they talk about freaking frack. And I like that the women felt like, why is it okay for y'all niggas to cry over each other, but me and, Stacy can't be, click tight or whatever. And I'm like, because y'all felt like y'all could bully the men with y'all's relationship. That's why. Thank you so much for the super chat, dear Yvette says. I appreciate you. Hashtag buy wig. Okay. I'ma just go ahead and say it. Y'all both have fucked up attitudes about yourselves. Like y'all think that I'm sorry. But y'all really do give off the, I'm a light-skinned pretty girl, so I can handle you any kind of way because you would be so happy to have a light-skinned pretty girl like me. That's the vibe y'all give off. And I honestly think that's the thing that y'all click on. But a man could not talk to one of y'all without the other one. And I mean Stacy. Stacy really did this a lot where you trying to press niggas about what they gonna do with Chris or if they gonna choose between the two of y'all. Nobody wants to deal with that. And the men weren't really doing that to y'all. The men weren't, going back and forth to each other like that, and, except for Ryan, and having those conversations like that to make it seem as if whatever y'all talked about in y'all relationship wasn't private. Like it made it seem as if they couldn't have no conversations with you bitches without y'all sharing everything y'all talked about with the same men that y'all are both dating with each other. That's just weird. That's weird. And to me, it low-key came off like y'all were trying to sabotage each other. Y'all might be friends, but I feel like y'all was definitely sabotaging each other in these relationships. And y'all energy is just hella weird. I don't know. I'm not saying y'all lesbians or nothing like that, but y'all just come off as some mean girls that decided to click up and say, because we're not getting the men's attention, let's just be friends and be mean girls together. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what it felt like to me. But let's move on from there. Okay, so they get into AJ, Alexis, Kyra, and all of that. Okay, they little whole love triangle. Ultimately, AJ blames Alexis for still liking Ron as for the reason why he didn't choose her, which I thought was such bullshit. AJ went through most of this reunion show not really answering any questions fully, which was really annoying. Ryan said, I'm sorry, my notes say Ryan, and it's supposed to be Ron, y'all. So sorry about that. Ron says that was over, or really the kiss. When AJ said, let me shut you up and kiss Alexis all in her mouth, that same day he told her that he was actually going to pursue her. And that's what she was looking for. And he told her that. And she was really more interested in him. So that's all she needed to hear for her to veer back to AJ. And AJ knew that. And I also think he did that because he could feel that Kyra was leaning more towards Jason. Okay? That is exactly what was going on. AJ asked Ron hey, earlier you said that I was being disrespectful to Alexis. Won't you let me know when that happened? Child, this is one of my favorite moments because Ron read that nigga down. He said, well, I had a party at my house. We were all there. I'm walking Alexis out. You come down and say, oh, I hadn't got a chance to talk to you. So she goes back inside and waits for you for 2 hours and you never came because he was upstairs talking to the homeboys, which means he ain't thinking about you. He don't care about you. A woman that he cares about, he would have never left hanging like that. The inconsiderateness of it for me, like it's just so inconsiderate and fucked up for him to have done that to her. And it just really shows how he was playing with her feelings the whole time. And I think when she said that the shit with Alexis made her feel like people was playing with her feelings, I absolutely understand what she meant by that. It wasn't Kyra that she was saying that about. It was about AJ. It was about Ron. It was about a lot of the men that acted as if they were more interested in her than they really were because they were using her as a placeholder for whoever they were really more interested in. And she felt that from Ron with Chris, and she felt that from AJ with Kyra, which is why she should have self-eliminated. But I also feel like they probably were saying things to her that made her feel like, it was more than what it really was. You know what I'm saying? Because men do that all the time. Just saying. I felt like AJ got real quiet after that. And then they discussed Kyra and AJ. And we saw this never before seen footage where he talked about basically having two girlfriends at one time and it wasn't a throuple. So I was like, okay. And she was wanting to know if that's something he was going to be interested in again. Like, are you really here for love? Are you just trying to be a player? And he said he wasn't interested in that moving forward, but I think that's bullshit. It might have been too much for him to handle because he doesn't like to put in a lot of effort. But I also feel like that doesn't mean he's actually ready for monogamous, interpersonal. Let's, really be in a relationship. Let's get engaged. Let's get married. Because he moves like a flaw ass dude that just wants to have some type of control over women for when he wants to deal with them. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want you to feel me for when I'm ready to deal with you. And when I don't feel like dealing with you, I want you to go over there and leave me the fuck be. Okay, so why is it that AJ and Kyra aren't together at this point? Well, Kyra says that she had planned a trip before the show to go out of town for 2 weeks. When she came back, Alexis called her and told her that for her birthday, she and AJ had went on a date, kissed, had a good time. He showed her a really great time and all of that. I also feel like they probably fucked. I don't know what happened, but since then, they've decided that they weren't going to continue to pursue one another. And I guess it's because it looks like to me, Vernicia must be like the go-between person because I think Vernicia was cool with everybody. And I think Vernicia probably told Alexis about Kyra and AJ. So in order to get back at AJ, Alexis calls Kyra and tells her what happened when she was out of town. Like, girl, let me tell you, he ain't really for you because look what he did. Look at all of the pictures and the text messages. And then AJ got pissed off. So when he was asked who you want to be with, he was like, well, it's not Alexis. Like trying to be extra nasty about it because she put you on blast for being a dog ass nigga. I almost felt like, did y'all talk about this trip? Were you low key mad at Kyra for not bringing you on that trip with her? Because something makes me feel like that's some shit you do out of spite for you to go and find Alexis and go. Well, actually, Alexis reached out to him, but he still could have been like, I'm dating Kyra. I'm really interested in her. Why move backward with Alexis when you didn't even want to choose her? So why try to go on a date with her and fuck with her now? I think you did it to make that girl mad. I think you did it to get back at her because she didn't take your ass on that vacation with her. Like, I'm gonna tell you the truth. I'm gonna tell you the truth because you do seem like the type that would be mad. Oh, she ain't gonna take me on this vacation with her. I'm mad. I'm gonna go fuck with Alexis, and then I'm not gonna tell her so I can continue to fuck with her and do what I want to do with her, even though I did this little sly shit. Yeah, no, I don't think it was malicious either, but I do think Vernicia talks and says whatever is going on. You can just tell. But Alexis reaching out on her birthday was so desperate. I mean, as a woman, I feel like we've all had desperate moments, but I feel like she's had way too many of them on this show, and that's sad. And like she said at the end of the show, once she starts having a love and respect for herself that she should have, then she won't go through these things in relationships with men. She won't have these moments. When a nigga make her feel like he's not interested, she will completely detach and remove her emotions from the situation like any self-respecting woman should do. As soon as you make me feel like you trying to play me like a soybean, like, oh, detach. No emotions. Dead on arrival. They asked Kyra if she wants to continue to date AJ, and they cut it off before she can answer. So we got to come back next week to find out, if Kyra and AJ are going to, continue to date. But I don't think they are. I really don't. I can't wait to see Vernicia go off about Joel and how he was actually spending more time with Chris and Stacy. That's what she said in the preview, child. A mess. AJ is trash. I feel like he was in a lot of ways moving in the same way that Ron was, but sometimes it's the way you do things. And sometimes it takes a lot of discernment to read when niggas are fugazi. Sometimes it's easier to tell. With Ron, I think he wears blinking signs that says, I'm a lame nigga that's gonna act like a fuckboy because I'm insecure about myself. I think he has blinking signs all over him that say, hey, my masculinity is fragile as fuck. So you gotta be careful with me. Okay? Because if you say anything that's wrong with me, I might fuck around and gut punch the shit out you. Okay? Call you all kinds of funky, dirty bitches and everything in secrecy of my house. I'm just saying that's the way Ron comes off, and AJ is just exactly smoother and smarter, but definitely still has the same thought process. Y'all, I feel like I'm over here getting bit up by mosquitoes on the back of my leg, bitch. It's so upsetting. You take your jeans off because it's too hot and you get bit up by mosquitoes. This world don't love you. It don't. Anyway, y'all. Okay. Ooh. I don't know what's going on in these comments. Why did Alexis do such heartfelt confessional at elimination if she was just gonna slide in the fool's DM disappointed? Yeah, but that's because she's lonely and she thought it was her birthday and maybe she deserved to get that dick down if she can get it on her birthday. It ain't had to be nothing serious, but I wanted the dick, so I called him, got the dick. It was my birthday. I wanted it. I probably think that was her mindset about it. Alexis did that Sermon on the Mount for nothing. Jesus still ran back to AJ. And then he played her on the show and then she had to go along with it like, oh, I know we don't talk. He would have got way more than that from me. I'd have been like, nigga, don't sit up here and act like you the only one that's choosing. We've already decided that we not going to fool la la no more. Don't sit up here and act like you making a choice today that we ain't talked about before. Fuck out of here. Yeah, I would have had more to say to him. For sure. Child, nothing works for the mosquitoes. Them hoes do not care. It is a special breed of mosquito out here. It don't care. It will die to bite you. Same side, different coin. Absolutely. I think Alexis wanted to go out with AJ to throw it in Kyra's face. Probably. Guess we'll find more out, next week. How do you feel about Jason and David? Well, we haven't really talked about them yet in this episode, so we'll wait until the next part. I think it's a 2 or 3 part reunion, so I'm sure at some point we'll talk about both Jason and David, but just not on this one. Okay. So I love y'all. I appreciate y'all so much. I hope y'all enjoy the live. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel if you have not already. Tell your people about me, and I will see you in my next live.